Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Take It Back Show with Tommy and Tina. We're here at the IQ Podcast Studios in Coronado, California. Our guest today is all the way from Hollywood via Fort Benning, Georgia, home of the U.S. Army Infantry. Is
That's fun.
Marcus Bovee, U.S. Army veteran, uh, ultra film distributor with Deepwater Productions
Mhm.
and their movie Narco Sub, the movie. And Marcus, I'm so happy to have you here, my old friend.
Yeah, it's good to be with you guys. It's funny I have to leave to go to the East Coast to spend time with you.
I know it, right? It's
Yeah,
like
well,
the last time we saw each other was right after the Oscars in 2019.
oh,
Was
that's right. Yeah,
2020?
we
Oh,
had
it
a
was 2020, right before everything shut down.
yeah, we had
And
that lovely Oscar viewing party at the Magic Castle. I remember it very well.
yep,
Well, I
yep.
remember some of it very well. Some of it's a bit fuzzy because, well,
Well, yeah, and after that, Marguerite drug us off to another Hollywood party, which lasted until who knows how late.
wow.
Yeah, but you boys don't drink and tell, so it's all good.
Oh no, no, I promise you there was no alcohol consumed at all. Is tequila alcohol? I think it's a disinfectant, isn't it?
After a while, it just sterilizes and makes things feel yummy.
I think
Yeah.
vodka would be much better, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for Marcus. He's about the only guy I know that drinks tequila on the rocks.
no, chilled, not in the rocks.
Is
Ooh,
it chilled? Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
don't, you don't
Chilled.
want to waste the tequila with the ice cubes. No, you
Yeah,
want them
that's
to
right.
shake
That's
it
right. I
and you
forgot
pour it
you're
in
a
the glass and
connoisseur.
you.
You're a connoisseur. Yeah.
Okay, Marcus, since we got to get it out of the way, what is your favorite tequila?
Oh gosh, I really like the Dobels, either the silver or the anejo. Um, I I tend to have people when we go out to these nice dinners with Narco Sub. Our CFO will constantly have the bartender pour me a beautiful shot of 1942, the Don Julio kind of high top shelf stuff. Um, but to me, it's not so much about the flavor; it's about the spirit and how it kind of creates this kind of. I'm not a rebellious kind of guy, but it's just kind of fun to feel that kind of presence of spirit from other times and other generations and things. And I can remember my first tequila. That's we're talking tequila. I was 16 years old, and we were at a cast party for an opera that I was a super in. And someone said, "You've never had a drink?" And I said, "No." They said, You seem like a tequila sunrise kind of guy." And I must have had two or three. And I was so worried that, everyone was talking about hangovers. And at 58, I can honestly say, not to this day have I had a hangover.
Wow, you're amazing. Hey,
It's-
right now we're live, and we're
Oh.
live across the
Oops.
country and actually international.
Great.
And we had our first person contact us, a
Fantastic.
friend of ours, and was a guest on the show. Heather Clark, the U.S. Navy veteran, says hi to everybody. Hi, Marcus.
Hey,
Hey,
Heather.
I just sponsored her Join Post 43. She did her program, AmeriFlex. It's yoga for warriors. She did it at the Post, and she did one for everybody, and then she did a special one for those of us with some injuries. And it was a great experience. And Heather's a super nice person with a great program, and she lives in Florida now, buddy,
Oh, wow.
over by Clearwater.
Oh, cool.
Right.
We should hook up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Thanks for writing in, Heather. We love you.
yeah, but while I have that thought with Heather in mind, look up her website, americaflex.com. She's selling these really cool t-shirts that are help sponsoring her yoga tour. Yoga. She does a
Okay.
brilliant, yeah, right. She does a brilliant gun yoga. So y'all got to check it out. So
Yes.
anyway, so we were talking about tequila, but
Oh.
you said 16 years old. You were already doing stuff. And,
Well, no. So in New York State, our drinking age was 18,
okay.
and when I was 18, it was 18, and then when I was 19, they raised it 1 year every year to get it to 21, where it stopped. And
Right.
we lived in the country. It was very rural America, and
Mhm.
That's cool.
My mother never kicked my butt for coming home with too many tequila sunrises, I can assure you. Although I will mention the one time I had gone to Washington, D.C. to meet Brandon Millett, who is the founder of the GI Film Festival. And it was a cold February night, and he came to the hotel. I was staying in room 1313 of the Hilton Garden Inn in Washington, D.C. And Brandon had come over, and we get to chatting, and we get to having, he had scotch and I had a few tequilas, and next thing I know, it's 11:30, and I wanted to go see the monuments at night, and I said, well, that's not going to happen. So I get him to the car, and I post on Facebook, just had tequila dinner here in Washington, D.C., and guess I'm not going to get to see the monuments. Enter. The next day, my mother, she calls me up and says, so I see in the computer that you had tequila dinner last night. I was like, yeah. And she said, well, what exactly is tequila dinner? I said, well, exactly kind of what it sounds like. Tequila was the potato skins. What do you want me to say? She said, do you have to have a meeting? I was like, no, I'm not. I think I'm okay. I think I'm all right. But I did manage to get out and see the monuments anyway, because
Very cool.
I woke up at 4 a.m. Yeah, what time is it? Oh, 4 o'clock. I can press my shirt, get to see the monuments, and get to the screening by 9. This is excellent. So I wound up stumbling into the Vietnam Wall Memorial, which was really kind of sobering to see all those names in the black granite. And I got to sit in the Lincoln Memorial steps and watch the sun come up over Washington, D.C. So it was a pretty good day. We had a great screening. The movie was Walking with the Enemy, which was an independent film made in San Diego by some great people that opened 7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about Deepwater. And
Sure.
Tell us about the movie.
Yep.
Our listeners and viewers want to know about anything you can tell us, because you're the man.
Okay. Well, let me start by giving you the synopsis of Narco Sub. Narco Sub is a 96-minute feature rated R for language, adult themes, and nudity. It is an action film that was actually inspired by an actual Navy SEAL who is a friend of Jen Barbetto, who plays Alessandra. Alessandra, the cartel queen, who gets caught in this kind of dual identity as lover and wife and all this kind of stuff. But Bruce Stryker, he's a former Navy SEAL, and he is in Colombia, where his family is abducted. And in order to get his family back, he has to pilot this Narco Sub, which is an actual thing, from Central America to Key West to drop off their booty. And it's basically an exercise in watching a man have to kind of change his alignment, because there's a CIA thing going on at the same time. It's really involved, and everyone loves the ending. Everyone just, oh my God, we didn't see that coming. So I will not spoil that, other than to say,
I know
everybody loves the ending.
Blew me away. I didn't see that coming either, and I think I told you that after the viewing. I was like,
right. And it's an independently funded project. And Derek Potts is the executive producer and the writer of the show. And for kind of a first time exercise, Derek wrote a really compelling and well thought out kind of script. And Sean Welling, the director, had to work with first time actors. And I got to tell you, I think Tom's performance was what kind of drew me to it. And I couldn't quite place it the first couple of times I saw it. But we were watching the movie in, I want to say Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock? Yeah, that was before El Paso. We were in Lubbock, Texas, and at the end of the movie, we had a husband and wife stay, and he was combat vet, 2 combat Afghanistan deployments, and we were talking because she went to school while her husband was away and got her degree in mental health, and we started talking about their family dynamic and how challenging it was for him to come home after being deployed and realizing that, oh my God, my wife has done all this stuff for the last 18 months, 2 years, and here I am coming home, and she's been running the show. She still wants to run the show. And it was just this wonderful conversation that I would have never had expected people watching our film, but she touched on some very important things, and she mentioned about Stryker's character, how very committed and persistent he was, but also how very innocent he was. And I realized that was what it was to me, that when I first saw that, I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I love the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark. As a kid, I managed a movie theater where I grew up, and we had a sneak preview of Raiders, and nobody came to see it. Nobody. And it was 2 weeks before it opened. So we had made a movie my senior year in high school. And so since we still had the 35 millimeter print of Raiders in the booth, we had our movie at midnight. And then at 12:30, I got permission to run Raiders of the Lost Ark for all of my classmates. And of course, it became the big thing that it was. But it was so cool to have access to that and be able to share that. So there was something about, when I first saw it, there was a kind of Harrison Ford quality about Tom's Bruce Stryker character. He's very brave, and he's really nice to look at in the screen. But there was that innocence that I think that kind of called me, that I took a while to figure it out. So it's a character piece. Sean did a great job directing with the resources that he had. It was all shot on his Red camera there in Houston. There was one sequence that takes place in San Diego at the Midway. The Submarine Museum is also in San Diego, so some of that was shot there. And the
patrol boat.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, it was a very ambitious project, and initially the filmmakers had thought about theatrical, but kind of decided they wanted to jump into the Amazon the Amazon relationship first. Sorry.
How do you really feel about this, Marcus?
Sorry.
I know.
It's not even tequila o'clock yet.
I know.
I'm sitting here jonesing in Fort Benning. No tequila. The PX is right next door. Do they sell spirits at the PX?
They used to. Well, they might have switched it to the commissary now, but they used to.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll figure it out and let you know.
If not, they'll know where.
And then join us back online in about 3 hours.
Right. Yeah. For the sequel. So anyway, so on the studio side, I was a part of the release of 435 feature films. My first Universal release was a movie called Dark Man. And then my last, I can't even remember what the last one was. And then after leaving Universal, I started getting phone calls from people saying, "Hey, I've just made this movie. What do I do next?" And it was usually when all the money was gone and they wanted to get 1,000 theaters to play their films. And we never got 1,000. But I think we spent what resources we had to get people that opportunity. And now when, just coming out of the pandemic, to be able to be relevant in the places, the markets that we've been with these military appreciation watch parties has meant the world to Deepwater, because they're really supportive of the veteran and first responder community. They had a partner in the Houston area, First Watch, that they're trying to help support. Jen is deeply involved with the human trafficking awareness thing. I had no idea what a huge thing that was.
It's unbelievable.
Right.
It really is shocking.
The numbers, the statistics, and the ages of which people are just kind of made to disappear and be put into these really compromised, unhealthy situations that, so anyway, there's a lot of social issues that I think the film addresses and shines a light on. It's not I don't think it's a social image kind of film. It's an action film. It's an action film with a protagonist who, endures an incredible, 96 minutes for our entertainment pleasure. And then, of course, you've got Robert Lusardo and you've got Tom Sizemore. Lee Majors has a nice cameo bit in the end, which I wish there was more. But I understand that there is discussions of an origin film and a sequel.
Oh.
Now, that would be awesome, because I could easily see a sequel coming out of that. And like I told you when I got to preview it, I got lost in it. I didn't have to think about anything except pure entertainment and an action flick. And it was so enjoyable to just sit back and watch a movie, not try to think it, figure it out, just enjoy it. And like
And
you said, they
shouldn't
had to
more
have that
movies
book.
kind of have that part of honoring that part of the relationship, where, as I like to tell people, what we're doing as an independent distribution platform, we're not looking to have a reaction. We're looking to create a relationship, and I think frequently that's the part of any kind of dynamic in the entertainment business that people take for granted.
Right.
Is they think that relationship is expendable. It is, I like to talk about the fulcrum. I like to use the equation. I like to have the fulcrum right. Camera's over there. I like to have the fulcrum right in the middle, so it's always kind of balanced. Maybe you can move a little bit, but there's something about the fulcrum being in the middle of what we're doing that I think, as an entrepreneur, as someone with the years experience that I do, that I want to make sure that the next two decades are meaningful and find a way to bring people into the theaters to see really good content. So I really appreciate that, Tommy, that you were able to just go for the adventure. Tina, did you get a chance to watch it?
I've not been able to view it. I went on Amazon to look, checked everywhere out, can't get it. So
Tom, you're welcome to share the link with Tina.
Okay.
And the rest of the Take It Back with Tommy and Tina staff says, I think it'd be great if you got a chance to see it, because I'd like to do something in Coronado or somewhere in San Diego. I keep thinking about wanting to do a screening on the deck of the Midway.
That's possible.
Well,
that's possible.
We did something with the GI Film Festival a couple years ago. So
yeah, and I'm familiar with the head of events there on the Midway. So, in fact, they let me do my my book launch for Boob Wind on the Midway.
Really cool.
So yeah, which was a very cool experience. It was like I was surrounded by all this history, and I get to do my book launch here. And it was Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, what a great time for that! That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was a great memory for me to be there,
Sure.
and it was even exciting. I got to meet all these young sailors and Marines who were touring it from the bases.
Very cool.
So, Heather, we can watch it in Florida. Come to the Villages. We have a DCP there, and we're just trying to find the right time to create a military appreciation watch party there. But I'll tell you, coming here to Fort Benning, the whole security thing is kind of new, but you get a picture with your pass with your picture on it. And I said, Tom, and Eric came with me. So my partner came. So it was kind of weird that, back in the early days of, it was kind of fun to have him go in and get his picture taken. And our little dog DeVille, she's with us, and so we put her in her carrier and put her in the back seat. Said shh, and so she came, and she was here earlier, but they're outside now. But it's just kind of fun to see so many variations of people in uniform who are who heard the call and did this, because I think that's the most significant surrender a person can make. Yeah, this might seem like it's a surrender position, and it is, but this is ultimately the big surrender that anybody in this group has made. And I don't think we did it for anything more than our sheer love of country. Yes, there might have been a college benefit. Yes, there may have been, my father did it, or the multitudes of reasons.
Right.
But it is a true sign of commitment and affection to the land where you were born.
Absolutely.
And as I tell everybody, I would do it again if they wanted old guys. But then Joshua Lang said to me the other day, he said, Bovee, you remember that big swearing out ceremony you had? And I was like, ooh, missed that. So what you're saying is I'm still serving. That's great. So I don't use the whole, if they wanted old guys anymore, because
yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. Well, we can't even teach the kids how to do it.
I know, right?
But hey, something I got to mention to you, because talking about Tom's character being a Navy SEAL, Heather was intelligence officer assigned to SEAL Team 6.
Really?
So talk about a resource.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's a few NDAs in there, but
In Clearwater, no less. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but I think Tommy needs to start making some phone calls to the Midway. Let's make that happen in Coronado. Honestly, whether it be the theater in Coronado, even Camp Pendleton could be an option. I mean, if
Or
that's
do
something
both.
or both, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and like I say, the folks at Ultrastar are always very supportive of what we've been doing. So the only problem, like I say, we have certain limitations with the national brand partners like AMC and Cinemark and Regal, which that's fine.
Mhm.
There are so many other institutions out there that don't see that adversarial role with another platform, and
Right.
ultimately it's story driven. It's like I say, we've done pretty well filling our our military appreciation watch parties with vet ticks. And if anybody who's listening isn't aware of vet ticks or first ticks, it is, I think, the most amazing resource other than the VA that we have access to, because people are constantly donating tickets, streaming events, concerts, NASCAR, theme parks, all this stuff that, and the fact that it's for a verified veteran service, that's what I, there are so many services out there that for just $19.95, you can get all this stuff as an American veteran. And you go in and you're, okay, so where do I attach my DD-214? How do I verify? Because when I go to talk to theater owners about what I want to bring, what I want to do, I want to make sure that it's effortless for them, and that when someone says that they're from the veteran community, they actually are from the veteran community.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad you brought that up about that program. Tell our viewers about Military Mondays at the movies.
Oh, sure. So, sorry, I got a little itch there. So, is my lighting okay? Should I try and hold on? Let's see. This is gonna fill that in. Oh, that's nicer. Okay. It's backwards. So, Military Mondays at the Movies was a campaign that Vetflix had started with the Independent Cinema Alliance in 2019. We had 30 theaters commit to a test on the week before Memorial Day. We had theaters all over the country. We had Florida, we had Wyoming, we had Montana, we had Texas, we had Indiana. We didn't have all 50 states, but we had 30 different theaters that gave 20 tickets every Monday to VetTix. And then VetTix would, Monday morning at 3 o'clock Pacific, send to me all the names listed. I would then grab and send on to the theaters, so that when the theaters open, they would have all this information. And the great thing about working with VetTix as a ticket donor is you get the feedback list. The feedback, the theaters to continue to get tickets from VetTix, you have to have your VetTix sign that says "Thank you, VetTix." Take a picture and then send something back to the donor. And it was kind of fun because my dad and I, we had been estranged for 38 years, and I had written him 9 years ago to forgive, and then 8 years ago had probably one of the most exciting relationships with a parent that a 50-year-old man could have. And there was a message that came from one of the recipients, I want to say in Texas, who had written their thank you to say that they had been able to, through our donation, been able to go to a movie with their father for the first time since 1987. And those personal things that to me are just so touching and so meaningful. And like I say, 2 million verified veterans and first responders. There's 2 websites, VetTix, VETTIX.org, and FirstTix, which is the number 1, STTIX.org. We, all of our military appreciation watch parties, we play the 90-second VetTix PSA. It's kind of funny because some people aren't necessarily aware of all that, and they start to, I can see the phones going like that before the movie starts, which is great. But it's just to give something to our every film I've released, we've always done a VetTix component. And Lionsgate took notice of us, and they gave us pre-opening tickets to Angel Has Fallen and Midway. And it was kind of funny because I got you get a little thing and it tells you, oh my God, these events have been posted. And I'm kind of scrolling and I refresh the screen and we only had, 25 or 50 tickets per location. And we had gotten up in some locations to 500 requests. I'm like, what are we going to do? And they're like, oh no, it just goes to a lottery if we have more than the request. I was like, okay, I'm glad there's an algorithm for that. But it was exciting to see the excitement and in the veteran community for a pre-opening movie like Angel Has Fallen or Midway. And Midway I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Well, maybe we can get your PSA and we'll put it out on our.
Oh, sure.
And we'll get it out on our Instagram and Twitter and everything. So to let more people know about it, because it's fantastic. And it'd be great to show the examples of those thank yous that you'd said, because I think that moves you, especially the one about the first time going to a movie with your dad since 1986. That almost brought a tear to Tina's eye.
I've been crying the whole time, actually.
Macho here.
But I just
switch up my game a little bit.
I want to intervene just a little quick moment for those of you that might just be joining us. Tommy and I, Tina, with the Take It Back show with Tommy and Tina, are here interviewing Marcus Bovee with deepwaterproductions.com. That's his website. But Deepwater Productions out in Houston, they're distributing Narco Sub, which is a fantastic, adventurous, high-action film. So we're excited to have him here at Attorney King Studios. I'm actually remote right now from my home. But, so glad to have you guys join us. Ask your questions. Let's proceed back through. I have a quick question for you, Marcus. Earlier, I was saying something about, you talked about your whole tequila experience. What I wanted to ask was, you've been in the industry that long. That was more what I wanted to talk about. It's just like 16 years old.
Yep.
You were involved in opera. What else do you do?
So growing up in rural New York State in a little town, there wasn't a lot of art there. And when I was 8 years old, I proudly proclaimed to my mother and father, Marcus Trevor Bovee Sr. and Beverly Bovee, she remarried, that I wanted to work in show business. And neither one of them had any idea what that meant. I mean, they took me to the movies, so I knew how the whole movie going experience worked. But I had, at 16, I had done some high school drama, we did Fiddler on the Roof. And we also did another production of something called The Curious Savage, where I had to play a rather large man. And as a kid, I was so skinny, but I came up with my own kind of way to present myself as being heavy. Okay. And so the opera festival, the Lake George Opera Festival, the daughter has just come in the room. Hi. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh.
So this is DeVille.
Hi, DeVille.
Hey, DeVille.
Camera's the other way. There she is. Yeah. He came all the way to Fort Benning with us, and so far they haven't kicked us out for having a dog. So the Lake George Opera Festival was a seasonal thing that happened during the summer. Okay. And when later that summer, my friend Jimmy McDougall had gone to New York, and I somehow managed to convince my Rory Wart Virgo mother to let me go to Manhattan with my friend at 16 on a 4-hour bus ride with $50 in my pocket, something like that. And somehow I managed to miss the last bus back to Glens Falls, so I had to spend the night in Manhattan all by myself.
Oh my gosh!
So I was very excited because I had found where Lincoln Square was. Yeah. And at the time, there was a theater that I would eventually, the day after I graduated high school, manage called the Paramount at 61st and Broadway. Nice. And the movie was Star Trek, the motion picture in 70 millimeters, 6-track Dolby stereo. And so I walked down to the theater from the hotel where I could get a room for $30 or whatever it was. Still had money to buy movie tickets. And saw Star Trek, the motion picture at this theater. And it's just, there's something special, I think, about that relationship that occurs when we come together either for a live production or for somebody's story that we're going to go on this adventure with together. And like I said, the day after I graduated high school, I moved to Manhattan. completely unprepared for a lifestyle change of going from a town of 12,000 to 27 billion, but managed to navigate that enough that I moved to Boston after that, then back to New York, then back to Boston, then to LA in 1986. I managed the Cinerama Dome on Sunset Boulevard, Paramount, which is now the El Capitan before that. Mm-hmm. And then I get the wild hair that being in the Army was a good thing. So I did that and came back and went right back to Pacific, and then started at Universal in 1990. And my entire life has been in a wonderful industry. I have many families now. I have our veteran family who I will do everything I can with my exhibition and studio families to find the right way to shine a bright light on what sacrifice and service looks like, and the people that do it and do it on, make sure these. Part of the thing that appealed to me about the GI Film Festival in its inception was the fact that it was an exercise in making sure that the stories that were being told honestly and honorably reflected the veteran space. And even today, there are still some really bad examples of no, that doesn't look. I've always said I don't want my business to be the PTSD Film Festival, because that's just a very small part.
Right.
And it's a very dramatic part of who we are, but there are so many other stories that I think sometimes get lost in especially in the studio mindset. Oh my God, this is popular. We got to have another one of those movies now.
Yes.
And it's like
that.
And who would let their children enlist into something that's what the ultimate, the perception of what the outcome is. And I just think that as now more people are using storytelling and filmmaking and media as not using these tools as therapy. And, having seen a therapist for many years myself for other traumatic experiences that were moral injury or battlefield types of things, we are a society of trauma and trauma survivors. And
absolutely,
being able to find healthy solutions for those kinds of outcomes are really important. And I think just being able to take my legacy relationships on the theater side, and like with Narco Sub, I'm here at Fort Benning, Georgia today, and last week I was in El Paso, and earlier this week I was back in Houston. We drove up to Dallas to meet one of the godfathers of Midwest film programming. And it's just been a great exercise, and Deepwater is going to be one of those. I see that A24 recently said that they were worth $3 billion. Not sure how that number was achieved, but I'm sure it was actually adding up, values and debts and things like that. But the business is changing, and to be where we are at the beginning of the theaters reopening and people getting out of their house and being able to provide something that's not just a studio Marvel movie, not to pick on those, or a sequel of a car chase movie, not picking on Universal, but okay, so we made it through the pandemic, and now we're going back to doing exactly what we did for the years before. And I think we're kind of one of those little interrupting businesses that says, look, we're committed, we're a relationship company, not a reaction company, and
Well, I was just handed some breaking news here, and I'm told I have to say it.
Okay.
It's from the mayor of Coronado.
Coronado.
Make sure that we recognize someone special's birthday today, Tina.
Whose birthday? It's not my birthday.
Yeah,
my birthday's tomorrow.
Okay.
It's birthday eve then. That doesn't matter.
Well, actually, it was birthday month, but I have to share my birthday month with Tommy too, because his birthday was last year. So
that's why
last week. I said last year.
Week, yeah. Well, see, it's like it's TNT. We're dynamite.
We had a little birthday party last Friday night. My band played at the American Legion in Norco, and we had some fun there. So that was.
And we had some subs, and so we had Narco subs.
Yeah.
So we do have a signature cocktail, the Narco Sub. It's mezcal,
You
tequila.
really?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, wow.
You gotta be on
Heather,
Heather's
Heather.
podcast. Heather's
Heather,
podcast
Heather.
it was started by country star
Chris
Chris
Turner.
Turner. It's
Oh,
called When You Drink. Don't
If you
Alone,
drink,
or
yeah.
if you drink,
If you drink, yeah.
come drink with us. It's a podcast, and we did it actually in Hollywood when she was here. We did a live broadcast, and she does a signature drink on every show.
Oh, cool. Well,
Heather,
if she
get
wants to
him
do the
on your
Narco
show.
Sub, I've got the ingredients right here in my phone.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you had them in your
No, I have them
box
right
there.
here. Hold on, go in the car, get out the mezcal and the tequila. Here we go.
Woo!
So we were in Houston, no, Dallas. This is Dallas probably a month ago. And so we went to a place called Papacitos for dinner. It was the Matthew Chenchosi, the CFO, VP of Deepwater Productions, and his fiancee Bess. We had a wonderful dinner. And I get in the Uber Black to get back to the hotel, and the guy says, "So, what'd you have for dinner?" And I said, "Well, I had a kid's chicken quesadilla and some tequila." He says, "Oh, tequila, you like tequila, huh?" And so he opens the center console of this like Lincoln Navigator,
Mhm.
and he takes out a bottle of tequila from the center console, and he says, "Have you ever had this?" And I couldn't remember. And he says, "Well, here, I'll pour you a shot." So he's driving with one hand and takes a plastic cup from inside the center console, pours me a shot, and hands it back to me.
It's like Wisconsin.
And I said, how? He says, "No, you're in the back seat. It's okay." So down the hatch, he said, "That's actually more of a sipping tequila, actually."
Oh, no.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
like, "Oh, no, much delicious." But it was just kind of funny that here we are balling it down the 69 freeway, which we have a special name for coming from LA. It's I-69, but
I hear you.
Sounds cool.
going
Tequila.
downtown. Yeah. So
On I-69 with some
Uh-huh.
tequila.
on Route 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
That's a movie in
anyway,
itself.
But you know, yeah, yes. Sometimes the behind the scenes stuff is far more exciting than the actual movie itself.
This is true.
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh my God, yes.
But no,
That's why
It's,
you have rap
it's-
parties.
it's an interesting time for independent film. I think
I think so too.
we have some great tools and some great decision-making things, to be able to have access to the information that we have because we're committed. It was a costly setup, but fortunately, Deepwater I think they're in it for the long haul. We've had many conversations about the long term and how we navigate that. So, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely would love to be a part and see everything that's going on with Deepwater Productions. I'm excited to see Narco Sub, the movie. I saw the trailers. It looks just amazing, and I'm excited to do that. And we definitely want to open up something and do a couple premieres in the San Diego area, and then possibly maybe even in because I live in the Inland Empire. And so does Tommy. It's like Riverside, San Bernardino counties. That would be fun to do too. So,
Yeah, we had talked about maybe the Fox in Riverside, which would be an amazing place to do it, seeing the history of that theater. And it's a beautiful theater too.
Yes, it's also an IATSE theater,
Okay, you got me.
yeah, me too.
the International Alliance of Theater and Stage Employees.
Oh,
I learned something new
I was
today.
waiting for something else to come out of you.
No, sometimes
I
I can
know
trust
you.
serious business.
But wait, he's not drinking tequila, so it's not going to
Yeah, no,
happen.
it's all business right now. Yeah.
Now you
Absolutely.
said something to us earlier about something for some of our listeners, possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What you got?
Can we do this?
Oh,
Yeah.
let's do it.
So what we would like to do at Deepwater Releasing, is there an incoming inbox at the show that they could send an email to fill in the blank at, or how do you want to do that? Because
You want to do our email address, Tommy?
Yeah, I can give you our email address, which is actually it'd be probably easier to send it to mine because my PA will pick it up and get it to me, which is info@tmandersonauthor.com.
So info@T Tango Mike Anderson.
TakeItBack.net.
Oh, yeah, and there's our take it back network.net. You can also put it on that. Send it to us through that. Yeah, I think my email's on off of that website also, so they can do
Okay.
it through that.
So
And,
the first 10 emails that come with the subject line, Narco Sub Coronado, I will make sure if you'll put your name and address, we will send you a Narco Sub t-shirt. We have large, extra large, and 2X large, or XX large, or double X, or whatever it's called. I don't have one on today because I didn't think I would have time to change before today's show. But we have a large number of them, and we have 10 that are ready to go out to the listeners of the Take It Back
Awesome.
Tommy and Tina.
Oh,
Perfect.
thank you so much. Thank
That's
you. That is
perfect.
awesome.
Yes.
So, listeners,
Well, any other,
t-shirts.
what's it, 10 t-shirts?
Yep.
Get a hold of Tommy at TM Anderson, or info, right? Info at tmanderson.com.
author.com.
Author.com. You have a long email address. But anyway, if you have any questions, you can just you can even make a comment here on our page on this live video, and we'll pick the first 10 out of there as well. So,
Oh, cool.
and
Well,
you
that's
can
not a
do it-
bad
you can
idea.
do it through a messenger on our Facebook page as well.
yeah. So
So
either
there's
and
different
or.
ways to get to us.
Just be
Yeah.
sure to include your address so we can mail it to you along with your t-shirt size. Like it's large,
Cool.
extra large, and double X.
And just remember, what were those words again? Narco Sub
Narco Sub
Coronado, right?
Coronado.
Coronado, because we want to definitely do a premiere out here in San Diego. So,
Yeah.
Awesome.
anybody want to get a hold of you, Marcus? Is there any contact information
Yeah. I
besides?
mean, I'm easy to reach at Deepwater. It's Marcus MARCUS at Deepwater, one word, -productions.com.
Perfect. Do you have anything else to add? Favorite color, favorite ice cream? Just kidding.
Favorite ice cream, vanilla with rainbow sprinkles.
Okay.
Sometimes at the what do you call it? The Der Wiener Schnitzel, they used to have a cotton candy dip, which was pretty good. I'm a fast food guy. I like the number one with just two cheeseburgers and regular fries and a large Coke. It drives Eric nuts because he is an amazing cook. He is
Isn't he a
we've been
cordon
together for
bleu
19
chef?
years, and he
Wow.
just recently started. Was that?
Isn't he a cordon bleu chef?
Yeah, we've been together 19 years. He just started doing a Beachbody diet and has lost 28 pounds. He's working out
Has he
3 times a
really?
day.
Good for him.
And I feel bad because I keep putting out what he's losing. So, that's that.
That's
But yeah, no,
just crazy.
like I say, Houston is where Deepwater is. I'm currently at Fort Benning, Georgia. Blessed to be here in the home of the infantry tonight. We'll be back here for our private watch party. A military appreciation watch party is going to be here at the Lucas Cinema next Saturday, the 31st of July, at the Lucas Cinema at 1:00 p.m. Tickets are free to veterans and active duty military, and we have t-shirts for the first 200 people who attend. We're waiting to hear back about Tom and Jen's likelihood of being here. Fingers crossed they will be here. But with Tom about to become a dad, I'm not so sure. But it's a nice venue. Jim Lucas, the president of Lucas Cinemas, has been an amazing ally. He is providing free popcorns and drinks for everybody who comes to the show. So it'll be a true military appreciation event that we're very happy to be here for.
If you want to fly us out there,
I know.
we'd love to do a show from there. And
Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A live remote, like on the red carpet and that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, let's put our budgets together and see what we can come up with.
There you
I
go.
might have. I think I have $1.50 right here on my table.
Okay, all right. Well, you can buy the gas.
There you
Oh,
go.
what is? It'll give me a quarter of a mile with the prices here in California.
Oh yeah. So how much is it there now?
I just paid.
Got to be up to almost $5 a gallon.
I just paid $3.99 in San
Where?
Dimas. San Dimas.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So
I
Yeah.
paid on the way down to the studio today $4.41
yeah.
gallons for unleaded.
Crazy.
I got an
Crazy.
18-gallon tank on my SUV. It's like,
well, you probably need that kind of gas for that.
Yeah, it does. So, well, we are excited. Narco Sub, hopefully we'll be premiering pretty soon in Southern California. Right now, Marcus Bovee is at Fort Benning, Georgia. Were you going to say something?
No, I was going to say we're opening in theaters nationally on September 10th, but we're using our military appreciation watch parties as a gauge, as some grassroots marketing. So our partners in exhibition realize that we're not just sending them a hard drive.
Right.
somebody special in the studio who was going to say hi to you, Tina.
Okay, who's that?
Yeah, come over a little
I
more.
can't see you. Oh, hi, how are you? Oh, it's such a great pleasure
Hi.
to see you.
I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you soon.
Oh, definitely, Marianne. This is Marcus. Marcus, this is Marianne.
Hi, Marianne. How are you?
It's a pleasure.
Cool.
Oh, so awesome to see her. Wow.
Yes, I knew you'd like that.
Definitely. I wish I was there. Okay, well, this is probably going to conclude our show. We really want to thank Marcus Bovee, Deepwater Productions, for being here talking about Narco Sub, a fantastic movie that, like you said, will be opening nationwide on September 10th.
Yep.
In the meantime, they are premiering veteran screenings for Veterans Appreciations, which is an amazing thing. So again, I sit here amongst the two of you, Tommy and Marcus. Thank you for your service, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
The
we
rose
also,
between the thorns.
I don't know about that, but anyway.
No thorn here.
So we are coming live to you from Attorney King Studios, one of our sponsors here in Coronado, California. We'd like to thank Attorney King, Sequan Indian Casino, Indian Motorcycles of San Diego, IB Fitness with Marina Teal. Hi, Marina. And Nikki Rotten's right there in Coronado. So we want to thank our sponsors, again, the IQ Podcast team, for being here, for having us, have the privilege to have the Take It Back show with Tommy and Tina.
Yep.
But thank you, Marcus. It was a pleasure.
pleasure.
Hopefully we will have you on the show.
I want
Maybe-
to bring Tom and Jen
Yes,
on
yes.
something.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Let's
They're
We'll
amazing
set it
people.
up and we'll do it somehow.
Okay.
definitely plan it out. So, well, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to have to
you.
cut out now. But remember, you guys, it's your live Take It Back. Just make things happen.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks,
Bye.
Marcus.
Thanks, Marcus.
Bye, everybody.